Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who's new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is my review of this palette. This is the Fantasy 2 palette from CXC Cosmetics, which I received in PR from this brand, and this is how she looks. Now this is a very big palette, or considerably big palette, with mattes and shimmers and also a couple of pressed glitters. This is how it looks a little bit more close up. And this is what I've been working with. Now today I'm doing my fourth look, which is this one, and of course the other ones you will see later on in the video, together also with swatches, and of course at the end of the video with my review part of this palette. So sweeties, I also want to talk to you in this video about how I'm seeing my channel in this new year. Okay sweeties, so that is what we're doing here today. Beyond that, of course, if you've just found me, I'm Leorah. I'm a makeup artist and stylist. I'm living for colorful makeup and colorful styling, so please feel free to check out my channel with all my content, and of course also my social media, which is linked in the description box down below for easy access, so you can see what I've been up to. And of course subscribe to my channel, because I would absolutely be thrilled to have you here. Alright sweeties, so without further ado, let's go into the makeup application part of this video, and let's just spend some friendship time together and just chat a little bit. Okay, here we are doing a look, sweeties, and of course you know that I'm going to use this palette here from CXC Cosmetics that I received, and I want to do something pink. I want to have something really pink going on my eyes today, and that is the plan. Okay, I'm wearing the P. Louise base, which is creasing nicely, but alright, so this is what it is, just dabbing it out, and then let's not look up so it doesn't crease again. Okay, sweeties, let us talk a little bit about how the year has been, and maybe also how I want to go forward with my channel, because I know a lot of people, well, this is still the old year, okay? When I'm filming this is still the old year, but of course you're going to see this in the new year. So so I know that everybody is going to make videos like this, maybe even like dedicated videos. See, this pigmentation is unreal. But I think I'm just going to include it in a video like this, so it gives me actually something to talk about, because today I was like, what am I going to talk about in the video? And I was very I didn't know. So I figured, okay, so let's just talk about my channel and how I want to go on from here, maybe. Okay, maybe, but first let's just look back quickly a little bit. I have to say that actually when I'm looking back, I think I'm very happy about my channel, honestly. I know that my growth is not huge at all compared to other channels, and also just like for me, you know, what I would expect according to the work that I put into it and all of these things. I feel it could be better, but I also know by now, I did not used to know, but I know now that actually one kind of low-key gets boycotted by YouTube when one is in the area where I live as a religious YouTuber in the Middle East, and of a certain complexion, and so on and so forth. So my videos get promoted less than others, and that is apparently just a fact, and I'm going to have to live with it. So that is what it is, and I'm not going to complain too much about it. It is just a fact, and there is nothing much I can do. Okay, let us how should we blend this out though? Should I just use the same shade to blend it out? Because actually the one next to it is also really cute. I used this one in a very gentle look for my weekend, but this seems to be more like a satin or something, you know, but it is really nice. But I honestly, I don't want to have something that's soft. I want to have like really bright pink, so I'm just going to use the same shade but with a different brush, with a more fluffy brush, and I'm just going to kind of try to blend it out with itself. So let's see how that is going to work out for me. Alright, so in any case, it is what it is, and also in general I feel like YouTube is not at its height anymore. I think there are other platforms now that are more fashionable and more in and more sought after, or however one says that. So I don't know how much one still can grow. I think these the big times for YouTube where actually people got YouTube famous, you remember that? It's not going to happen, at least not in the beauty community. I think those days are over. It's so oversaturated. Do you see how this blends out just by itself? It is really, really nice. Okay, let me just pull out a hair. There are some stray hairs coming out of the brush. Maybe it's time to say goodbye to this brush. This is one from Beauty Bay, but I've had it for quite some time and washed it like every day. So it's a very, very nice brush, these Beauty Bay brushes, if you ask me. Okay, but in any case, I'm just going to pack on a little bit more and just keep fluffing it out. You see this crease here? This is me not getting younger. Yeah. All right, so that is basically what it is. We're not getting younger. I'm now, wow, too old. Okay, let us just also use my bone color mat and just set this area here. And then I'm going to just continue for a tiny little bit more to blend and perfect. But seriously, this is just one shade and I'm really, really happy. Like in general about the performance, I have to say, so far so good. Alright, so there are certain hindrances in my life here on YouTube, and but that is what it is, and I think it is much easier to work with it and to work around it when you just realize it and you start to make your peace with it, you know? I know that there are 100 million little suggestions that I could do and whatever, and I think if I wouldn't be so incredibly busy with my children who become more and more high maintenance the older they get, apparently. It is, wait, that's the wrong brush. Where's my brush? Here. If I wouldn't be so incredibly busy and could actually really like devote myself just solely to YouTube and to my career here, then it would be different. But I think I'm very, very far from that stage because my youngest is just 5 years old, you know, and actually the older ones are the ones that keep me so busy because we are just really constantly on, I don't know, we're just constantly running around to get stuff organized for their lives, you know? Okay, let's just go in with this one and just deepen up the look a little bit. And yeah, so I think honestly, when I think back about this year and of course concerning YouTube and my place here, I've actually been really, really happy when I think about it. I think I almost took it too seriously because I have been very, very close to a burnout, and that is not because of YouTube, it is because of everything together, you know? So where actually my friend said, yeah, you gotta calm down, you gotta calm down, stop having 5-6 videos a week, you know, and stuff like that, because it was just starting to be super unhealthy for me. And so I stopped because I listened to my friends, you know. So that is what it was. But overall, the content and everything, I'm actually doing exactly what I want to do, and so I don't think I'm going to change much. You know, I know that a lot of people are reflecting now and coming up with all kinds of more things to be more successful and to be more seen and to be more admired and to be, I don't know what, yeah, also to gain more money and stuff. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to stay exactly the way I am, and if I feel that I am not in the right place, then I'm going to make the changes as I go along. But of course, but I feel overall I am exactly in the place where I was put, you know, and that's actually a very, very nice and peaceful place. So I'm not suffering. Yes, I would love it if I could maybe earn a little bit more from this, because when you think about the hours that go into this and then you earn a very small amount, it is just really ridiculous, you know. But beyond that, nobody forces me to be there, so in this place, so I can anytime just close up the channel and find a different job, right? So theoretically I could do that. Now for me, of course, being here is very, very practical also, because I have a family, you know, I have a very big family, and it just makes sense for me to be here, to work from home, and to do this instead of leaving the house for 8 or 10 hours or whatever, you know. All right, so let us go in with something else. I actually want to use pressed glitter again because I want to. So let us though go in maybe with this gold shade, because I always put, of course, a shimmer under the pressed glitters, because that is how I do it. It gives a more professional look, you know. So I'm just going to put this here, the inner part, and I don't know which. I don't know. I'm just thinking if I should mix 2 of the pressed glitters, but I am kind of hesitating now. You know what, let me just use my finger, that is better, because these shades are actually super nice, but now with this brush didn't work so well. So there you go, this is better. And then I'm also, I think I'm going to kind of also smooth it into a bit of an orangey shade. There is not a real orange in the shimmers, but there is this one here which I'm going to use. So that is what I'm going to put right here, and then I think over this golden shade here in the inner part of the lid, I'm going to just put some glitter on top. I think this is basically how I want the look to be, you know. For under the eyes, I really don't know yet, but I think this could be nice. Just like, it's actually a very simple look when you think about it, but yeah. So I'm speaking also a lot to my YouTube friends, not a lot, but you know, in a reasonable amount. I'm speaking to my YouTube friends, and of course we're also talking about what they are doing and what they are coming up with for the new year. And I think the overwhelming message or the overwhelming feedback that I'm getting is that actually a lot of them are just craving the OG YouTube content, you know, not this whole race of I need to be there, I need to be the first, I need to do this and that because that and that person was very successful with that, so I might be too. I think a lot of people, or most of them, are just sick and tired of the race. And I've been sick and tired of it a long time because I think it's so toxic, and I just like whatever, you know. I said a long time ago that whatever happens here is up to God. I like whatever, you know. If God makes me successful, then thank you. If not, then I'm going to just, I don't know, I'm going to continue for a while and maybe then just do something else. I don't know. So I have other options of stuff to do. But this is what it is for now, and I'm very happy still, you know. I hope that at some point I will have just more time, you know, because I think if I could just really devote myself a little bit more and not having to film in the middle of the night, like right now it's like 4 AM, you know. If I wouldn't have to film in the middle of the night, that would be wonderful. I think if I will ever get to that point where I don't have so much work during the day that I have to film during the night, that would be awesome. But as of right now, it's not happening. All right, sweeties, let's go in with that golden glitter here, this one in the corner, and let's just put that, yeah, the inner part of the lid. Let's just do that. I have tried all of the other glitters. Is that true? No, maybe the pink one I haven't. I kind of really want to try that one too. But okay, so let's just put that on, and I think you're gonna see how beautiful this applies. How beautifully. Leorah, speak properly. Okay, so I think you can see this is a very smooth formula, and it's very pretty. And what you can also do, because I have now tried that a couple of times in different looks, you can also blend them reasonably well. A lot of pressed glitters, it is very hard to blend them, and you can also apply them very precisely because of the binder that they are in, you know. So I'm just going to pack them really precisely here. Maybe you can see it. I hope you can see that this is like a very easy application, and I'm very pleased with this aspect of the glitter. We're going to of course talk about it also a little bit more in detail than in the review part, but because there's also something that I don't like so much, but I'm going to talk about it. Okay, sweeties, I think this is nice, so I'm just now going in with my finger again with that second shade that I have here, the shimmer shade, and I'm just going to kind of put that back on and try to smudge, like a low-key smudge these two into each other. So first of all, I do apply that shimmer shade, and then I use a finger that is not colored with anything, and then I'm just kind of trying to push the glitter into the shimmer shade. I hope you can see what I mean. Of course, in this case, or when you use this technique, the glitter particles that are here at the inner part towards the shimmer shade will become a little bit more dull, obviously, because they are being covered up a little bit with the shimmer shade, but I think it just makes a nicer transition, you know. I think it is a very, very nice technique to just blend shimmers and at least this formula pressed glitter into each other. Okay, sweeties, this is what it's going to be. I'm going to finish the look. You're going to see the other looks that I've done with the palette, and of course the swatches, which I have no idea how I'm going to fit all of this on my arm. And beyond that, of course, right after, I'm going to meet you here for the review part, so stay tuned. Okay, sweeties, now you have seen, of course, all the looks, the swatches and everything, and we're back here, and I'm going to zoom you in so you can take a closer look at how this whole thing has turned out. And then, of course, we are going to talk about the palette. If you hear meowing, it's Oreo. I have locked him out. So let's just ignore the cat. All right, so that is that, because he was very naughty. He has actually been breaking stuff here in my studio, so he has to stay outside. Okay, sweeties, let's talk about the palette. And also, of course, I'm going to talk about, maybe I should do that now before I forget, how I finished the look. Okay, so at the... This cat, he really wants to come into mommy. All right, sweeties, I put this one here, this very, very light rosé shade, into the inner corner, and then basically I have this shimmer, and this shimmer under my eyes, and I kind of blended them into each other, starting with this one, and then of course going into this one and this one. Okay, so this is how I finished the look, and yeah, and the rest you saw. Okay, so now let's talk about the palette. It is cardboard packaging. It comes in a sleeve that looks exactly like the palette, like this. Okay, I found it a little bit confusing that it says here The Sound of Beauty, but the actual name of the palette is Fantasy 2. Okay, so also when I spoke about this in my haul video, in my last haul video, I actually called it This is the Sound of Beauty palette. That I found that a little bit confusing, but it is the Fantasy 2 palette, and this is what it says on the website. Okay, so sweeties, this is the palette. You do get 35 shades. And as I already told you, it has mattes and shimmers and pressed glitters. This one is a glitter, this one is a glitter, this one, and this one. So you do have 4 pressed glitters here in the palette. You do have a very, very nice range within the mattes and shimmers, a very nice ratio. And of course, you have a very, very colorful abundance here, which is so, so beautiful. Also with nice depth in the mattes, which is, of course, now he's scratching on the door. Is that cat needy or what? So in any case, which gives you really, really nice depth in your looks. All right, so that is what it is. Now the first look, if you remember, that you saw in the pictures, is actually I used this one here as my main shade because it was one of my weekend looks. And if you don't know what that means, it is because on my weekends when I go to my services and stuff, that I'm always having a bit more subdued, a bit more classy looks than maybe during the week, okay, when I'm basically working. Because when I'm putting on makeup and when I'm reviewing colorful makeup, that is my work hours, basically. Okay, so sweeties, this is what it is. And of course, all the other looks you also saw, and especially I actually liked my yesterday's look. That was the last one that you saw in pictures, which was the very, very dark blue one, which just came out so beautiful. I think it's my favorite look that I did with this palette. All right, I have also tried all the pressed glitters. No, that's not true. I've not tried this one, but I've swatched it, and it has the exact same formula like the other ones, but the other ones I've actually tried in my looks. And I have to say, let's start with that. I have to say regarding the pressed glitters that it is a beautiful, beautiful formula. It is, the binder is so smooth and so soft, and the application, maybe you also saw it today when I applied the golden glitter, that it is just so easy to apply. It picks up beautifully on the brush. It is a beautiful, beautiful formula. Now, on my eyes, something that beautiful tends to crease a bit. So I have to say today it is not that apparent, but yesterday in my really, really dark blue look, where I used basically this pressed glitter on me, I did have quite some creasing. Now, how can you save a look like this when you have not like super young eyelids anymore like I, because I'm 40 plus and I am aging very, very openly, and I'm not ashamed of it, and I'm not going to try to stop it or anything. It is just what it is, but I also want to talk openly about it, okay? I have been personally noticing a change in my eyelids. I want to say in the last half year, it became really, really apparent to me that certain things crease on me that never creased before, okay? So it doesn't mean that there is anything bad in this, because I actually feel that those glitter shades are amazing. It's just on me that it creased a little bit, okay? So how do I save this? Because I still want to use it. I use Dora Line. Sweeties, Dora Line is made in heaven, and you should definitely have a bottle of that at home. So what do? I have it always here on my desk, and I'm just basically, after I finish the look and when it starts to crease, I just put a few drops on a brush like this, which is a packing brush, something like that. Don't take anything that is too dense, you know, it should be a tiny little bit fluffy, because you do not want to pack on too much, because then it just turns into a plate of product and it will make you look old, and it will prevent your eyelid from moving naturally, okay? And that is, you want it to still look natural, not according to the colors, but of course the movement should still be natural, otherwise it'll turn into something really, really ugly, okay? So just dab on some products over those areas, just over those areas where you do have the creasing, and then dab on with whatever brush you're using to apply pressed glitter. For me, it is like small concealer brushes, like for example, like this. Dab the product on top of it, and you will be fine. You will be fine, I promise you, because this is my experience. I've tried it and it works 100,000%. Okay, just if you are having eyelids that maybe, you know, are prone to creasing or something like this, then just know that this is something you can do, and you do not have to not have something, not buy a palette when you still can have it. You can still have it, you just need the Dora Line or something that works in a similar way. Okay, just saying that in regards to the glitters, I did have some creasing there, and of course with that always comes some separation and all of that, but I fixed it with the Dora Line and it worked perfectly, okay? So just so you know, in general, these glitters, the formula is out of this world amazing, buttery, amazing, smooth, really, really pretty. All right, so that was that. Now going to the mattes, I think they are really, really nice and pigmented. I think you also saw it today when I applied the pink, because really I only have this one shade here over my crease, you know. It's very, very beautiful. I would suggest you go in with the darkest shade first. I think I should have gone in with this shade first, because I think there is some limit in the buildability on top of each other, but I think when I did it with the darkest shade first in my dark blue look, I had the super best results, okay? Also today it's nice and it's good, but the super amazing rocking your world results I think you will have when you go in with the darkest shade first. That is my advice, but of course you can try, and maybe it also depends on which kind of eyeshadow base you use, you know, that could also be. Okay, but overall, I think the blendability is amazing. There is nothing wrong with these. These are just amazing, you know. I should also say before I forget that here is some micro glitter in this shade, but beyond that, it is a matte. And with this one, I think it is a matte, but it kind of has a very, very satiny feeling to it. But I have to say that all of these mattes are super, super smooth and have a very buttery feeling to it. So I could have been misled by that. Okay, then let's talk about the shimmers. The shimmers are OG shimmers. They are not like foiled or multi-chrome or duochrome or anything. They are very, very opaque OG shimmers. Okay, so this is what you're getting. Some of them are a little bit more metallic, like for example this one and this one, but most of them are like OG shimmers. Okay, but what I also have, of course, from my experience, is that when you also, of course, include the pressed glitters on top of some of the shimmers, you can get amazing effects. So that is basically what I can say. I do believe that there is some staining with these shades, but nothing super, super significant. I have not tried the red, for example, but I have gone into the pinks and the purples beforehand already. There was some minor staining, but it was not anything where I would say, wow, this was horrible. Okay, and for me personally, as you know, this is not an issue, you know, absolutely not. Like, I really don't care, but maybe you want to know. So yeah. Okay, so you do have cardboard packaging. I told you, you do have the ingredients on the back. You do not have shade names, and you do not have a mirror. Okay, so that is basically the basics. Basically the basics about this palette. What you need to know, I really enjoyed this. I think it was very, very beautiful to work with this palette. I'm super, super grateful that I got to try this brand and that they sent it to me. So thank you so much, dear Sound Cosmetics team, or dear owner, whoever is behind that brand. Thank you so, so much for this opportunity. I really, really enjoyed it. And I would definitely recommend this palette if you are into bigger palettes, into colorful palettes. This palette, by the way, comes also in a neutral version. You know, if you're more into neutrals, you can definitely check it out. There's all kinds of stuff on their website, so feel free to check out that website. It is of course going to be linked in the description box, and I would definitely recommend this if you're also liking pressed glitters and a very, very pigmented formula. Really, really easy to work with. So yeah, this is the one. Okay, sweeties, that is my verdict. You saw it in the pictures that they came out super, super nice, these looks. So yeah, that is what my experience with this palette was. All right, sweeties, everything is going to be linked, of course, in the description box down below. You will also find my links to social media, ways to support my channel, and of course all my discount codes that I do have with the different brands. Beyond that, leave me, of course, as always, your comments and your feedback in the comment section, and subscribe if you have not done so yet. Please do so, because I would absolutely love to have you here, and I shall see you here super soon for my next video. And up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.